Hey, we starting for biology class 10 on EduStep. So हम लोग इसमें पूरे कोर्स में we are going to complete your syllabus. Every week दो classes या दो lectures आपको आएंगे. I'm starting with the very basic today, which is life processes. Now, it's really difficult to distinguish between a living organism, or you can say it's very difficult to distinguish between a living organism and a non living object. And it is equally difficult to give a proper definition of life. So, if you're looking at a frog which is jumping, or we are looking at monkeys who are eating fruits, or we are looking at the children who are playing in the park, we know that these are living things. You need not describe them. So, we come to know this on the basis of some assumptions which are in our mind, right? So, we know that, okay, they are moving, so that is why they are living, or we say that like the frog that is jumping, so it is living. So we have certain criteria which we have to assign to an object as living or non-living. So these criteria are in fact the characteristic features of living beings. Plants do not jump. So if we're looking at the plants, we say that the plants do not jump. So are they non-living? No, they are also living. Or uh, why are these living? That is the question which comes to our mind. So they are living because they possess the characteristic features of living organisms. If we're looking at the viruses on the other hand do not show any characteristic feature of living beings when they are outside the host. But once they enter inside the host, like they are entering, let's say they are entering the plants or they are entering the animals, in that case, these same non-living particles of viruses, they become active and they start molecular movements. Okay, so it is because of this dual nature, they are considered to be connecting links, connecting links between living and non-living, right? So there's still a controversy whether viruses are alive or not. Now, on the basis of characteristic features of living things, we define living things like this, that living things are complex organizations of molecules which provide certain life processes such as growth, metabolism, reproduction, etc., that distinguish them from non living matter. Then, what are life processes? All living organisms, they are going to perform these life processes, okay, in order to remain alive. These processes, they are needed for the maintenance of their bodies and catching to their daily activities. So some of these processes, they continue to occur even when the organisms, they are not doing any activities, like we are breathing, we are respiring. Even if we are sleeping, we still are respiring. So that is a continuing activity which we are doing, right? Now over here, all processes which together keep the living organisms alive and they perform the job of body maintenance, that is known as life processes. So let's try and understand some life processes over here. The first one is nutrition. So it is a process by which organisms, they obtain food, they utilize food for growth. Okay, so these are basically nutrients. These nutrients, they are what? They are source of energy. Okay, now since life on the earth that depends mainly on carbon based substances, so the nutrition which we have, that can be carbohydrates, that can be lipids, that can be proteins. These are the major nutrients which any living organism would require to grow, to stay alive, and to maintain themselves. Now, plant nutrition, that involves the process of photosynthesis. they are autotrophs. They have the tendency to make their own food with the help of chlorophyll, right? So green plants, they synthesize their own food. And animal nutrition, that is heterotrophs. They are going to take food inside the body and then they start digesting. That food can be in terms of carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, vitamins, whatever is required for the body to live. Then what is respiration? Respiration is the process which is going to involve breakdown of nutrients, the nutrients which we have taken in the body through oxidation. And this will result in release of energy. Right? So this energy is required for cellular needs. So that is why many organisms take oxygen from outside the body. Right? So we're breathing in oxygen and we are breathing out carbon dioxide. Then what is transport? Now, in case of single-celled organisms, when we're talking of, if we're talking of, let's say, amoeba. Amoeba is a single cellular or unicellular organism. So there are no specific organs for getting nutrients, oxygen, water, or removal of waste. So they do this with the help of contractile vacuoles when they are throwing food outside the body, or they engulf food with the help of formation of pseudopodia. So this we will come as we go forward with the lectures. Okay. Now over here the nutrients and water, they will itself enter inside the body of the amoeba. The process which occurs over here is simple diffusion. But this is not the case when we're talking of multicellular organisms, like we're talking of humans or we're talking of higher plants. Simple diffusion is not going to be sufficient to meet the oxygen and nutritional requirements of all the cells. So such organisms, they are going to develop specific organs, right? And tissues for transportation of materials from one part of the body to the other. And this process is known as transport. Then what is excretion? There are a lot of biochemical reactions which are taking place inside our body. So when we are eating food and then the food is being digested, then the food has to be assimilated, and then there are certain toxic substances which are left in the body, and these are known as the byproducts, which are not assimilated nor digested inside our body. Right? So they are toxic in nature, as a result of which they have to be thrown out. So the removal of excess or toxic waste from the body, that is known as excretion. So it is going to be removal of toxic substances. Okay. And the system which consists of tissues and organs related with excretion, that is known as the excretory system. In our next class, we will study all these processes in a little detail. So just keep studying.